Okay, let's do this. In 1960, Alexandru Stiff, a well-known scientist, traveled to the forest of Hayu Baku, located in East Romania. The Hayu Forest had the reputation of being a hotspot for paranormal activity, the main reason for Stiff's motivation. He wrote many notes about his experiments there, but many were found burnt upon his death. In 1993, the notes that survived detailed his experiments on the forest of test subjects. In every one of his notes, he ended by saying, "Now knowledge is harmful. Ignorance is bliss." 10 years later, the Romanian government developed interest in the few notes that survived, so they sought to recreate his experiments. 3 men were volunteered for it. They were told that this was simply to see how an average person would manage to travel in a foreign territory, using only a compass and a light source. Of course, they were lies, as no sane man would volunteer if they knew what had awaited them. They were also told that there would be a substitute reward should they succeed. The first test subject was brought by helicopter to the west zone on the forest at midnight. He carried with him a backpack, food, water, a compass, and an oil lantern with enough oil to last the night until morning. He was instructed to keep moving east until he hit a road, which would lead him into a cabin where a few government agents awaited him. He was also told to stop every 30 minutes to record any and all events in a sheet of paper. He arrived at the cabin at 2 a.m. He handed the sheet to the agents and was driven to a nearby city, where he was handed the reward. His sheet read the following. God damn it. 0:30 a.m. I stopped at a nearby creek to rest and eat. Being in the forest at night with only an oil lantern for a source of light really managed to scare the hell out of me. I thought I kept seeing shadows, more shadows than there really were. 1 a.m. I stopped at a little clearing to change the oil. I swear, there must be something out there following me. I can almost be sure that there was a shadow that wasn't from a tree. Maybe an animal. 1:30. Now I'm definitely freaked out. I saw something staring at me in the distance. I only managed to see its silhouette, but as soon as I looked at it, it vanished. I'm starting to second doubt this experiment. 1:55. I'm on the road. I can see the cabin from here. That thing before kept following me. The more I walk, the more it got closer. Thankfully, I haven't seen it for a while, so I figure I'll just get to the cabin without any more delays. The first subject remained in alarm for a few days afterwards, but soon returned to a calm state. The second subject was deployed in the same spot as the previous one. On the following night, he had the exact same gear, except for instead of an oil lantern, he had an infrared camera. He arrived at the cabin at 5 a.m. The agents noticed he was physically and psychologically shaken. He was panting and crying in fear. His sheet read the following. 0:30 a.m. This camera really doesn't help me navigate. I even fell a few times because of it. Almost everything I see is in blue and black, except the occasional red spot of an animal or a bird. 1 a.m. I don't know what the fuck you guys put out here with me, but it's not funny. I took a break to drink some water when I heard a rattle come from deep within the forest. I took my camera to see what it was, but I can be sure that was no normal animal. It was big, but hunched over. I couldn't make out its details since it was completely glowing red. I slowly walked away from it, never losing it out of my sight, even though I stayed completely immobile. It stayed completely immobile. I found a small ditch to hide. I guess it's better to write in here than out in the open. I'll quicken up my pace. The faster I get out of here, the better. 4:30 a.m. I'm sorry for not writing more frequently. I just never had the chance. Shortly after my last entry, I heard it walking towards me. I hid in a small cave and waited for it to pass. It took so long because of that. It didn't leave me alone. I'll probably not write anything else until I get to safety. The last thing I want is to be surprised by that thing while my guard is down. The second subject was visibly stressed and was taken to a psychologist for 3 months. The third subject never came back. He was deployed in the same spot on the next night. He had the same gear, except he had a night vision camera. When the agents were leaving the shack, they noticed a worn and a ragged piece of paper on their doorstep. It had only one entry. It read the following: 0.05 a.m. If you find this, please tell my family I love them. These might be my last words. After I couldn't see the helicopter anymore, I turned the camera on to check my surroundings. I can see it 12 meters in front of me. It doesn't move as I write this. It doesn't even blink. It has no eyebrows. It's higher than any human or bear I have ever encountered. It's hunched like a gorilla. It's supporting its weight on the extremities of its limbs. I can't even call those things hands. It has fish-like eyes, no pupils, pure engulfing darkness. Oh God, it's tearing down trees as it moves. After the conclusion of the experiments, the Romanian government placed an electric fence and guard towers surrounding the entire Hola Baku forest. They made sure not to let anyone in or out.